Narcissist disrespect. What happens when they attack? Ever felt that sting of disrespect, that casual joke that lands like a punch, or that dismissive glance that makes your stomach drop? Are you tired of just brushing it off, telling yourself it is no big deal, only for it to happen again? Maybe even louder and sharper next time. If you are ready to stop that cycle, this video is for you. You are about to learn the powerful, often silent strategies to not only shut down disrespect in its tracks, but to build an unshakable presence that commands genuine respect without ever needing to raise your voice or lose your cool. It often begins with that unsettling feeling you can't quite shake, that whisper of a joke made at your expense, a weird shift in how they act, a stare that lasts too long, a smile that has something dark behind it, and most people, they just let it go. They brush it off. They tell themselves it is no big deal until it happens again. Louder, sharper, more public. Even worse, think about one person sitting at dinner with their partner. The partner just told a story, supposedly funny, about how the other burnt dinner last week, making a big deal out of nothing. One partner forces a weak smile, but inside their stomach twists. Later, they might even try to laugh it off with a friend. Oh, that is just how they are. Why narcissists disrespect you? What they gain? It is not about you. It is about their twisted game. Does this really feel like a good connection? Because when you let disrespect slide, it is like an open door. This isn't just a silly joke. It's a quiet way for them to suck out your peace of mind. It is a test. If you don't pass, you are not just seen as weak, you are seen as someone they can easily disrespect again. So when someone puts you down, do this. Not later, not in your head, but right away. You go quiet, but not like you are giving up. You don't laugh it off. You don't pretend you didn't notice. You don't try to explain how it made you feel. You make them feel your absence in your look, in your tone, in your refusal to keep things light. It's a sudden stop in the easy flow they wanted. A black hole in a chat they thought they controlled. Disrespect only grows when it gets a reaction, laughter, getting defensive, or trying to make them happy. But when it is met with cold stillness, it shows what it really is. A cheap, desperate grab for control. They push, they poke, they press, they want you to react. Think about one partner whose significant other just made a nasty comment about their new hobby in front of friends. This partner usually gets defensive or tries to explain themselves, but this time they just stop, hold their significant other's gaze without a word, and then talk to someone else, letting the silence hang heavy. The significant other, who expected an argument, suddenly feels things change in the room. Why isn't this partner reacting like they usually do? 3. Narcissist test. How to respond when disrespected. Turn their attack into their biggest regret. Didn't we promise ourselves we'd stop letting this happen? They watch when you speak. They watch when you mess up. They watch when you choose to stand strong. Give them back what they gave you. Not with insults, not by fighting back, but by asking a question. When someone makes you feel small, they want you to get emotional. They want to hit your weak spots. What they don't expect is for you to expose them. So you hold their eye. You tilt your head a little. One partner says, in a calm, clear voice, "Did you mean to imply I am bad with money?" Personal. Want to explain before I reply? Each line is a careful cut. You are not saying they didn't do it. You are asking them to do it again, out in the open, to double down on their meanness. Most won't. Most people who put you down aren't brave. They just take chances. They test boundaries to see who will stop them. When you meet their move with quiet tension and clear words, they start to doubt themselves. And that doubt is what you want. Not revenge, not drama, just doubt. The person who makes others doubt, who makes people stop, stumble, or fix what they said around them, doesn't need to demand respect. They just have it. Setting boundaries with a narcissist, make it stick. Stop the cycle. How to enforce your worth every time. Are we really going to let this keep happening? Most people can handle one tough moment, one direct talk. What they can't handle is always doing it. If someone puts you down once and you deal with it, great. But if they feel like there is still a chance, if you go back to being soft later, they'll try it again. So the next step is this: change the relationship right away. You don't go back to normal. You don't pretend nothing happened. You draw a new line in how you talk, how you show up, and how unavailable you become. Putting someone in their place in public, when it is deserved and done right, doesn't just stop them, it teaches everyone else a lesson. So if they were rude in front of others, let your new attitude speak louder than any comeback. Pull back your warmth. Make your words sharper. Say no to their invitations. You don't have to announce the change. Just let them feel it. This is what sets apart those who are looked up to from those who are ignored. It is not controlling people by being mean. It is being strong because of who you are. You've shown everyone, I am not putting up with that, and I won't explain myself just to make you comfortable. Now, how people act around you changes. Others notice. They become careful. People start talking about you as someone who thinks things through, someone not to mess with. The person who can't be easily dismissed isn't the loudest. It is the one who knows exactly what to do when it happens. Not with shouting, but with calm, quiet, sharp understanding, and a firm refusal to value comfort over self-respect. That's how you stop it before it starts. Not with anger, not with ego, but with what they never saw coming: self-control, keeping your distance, and being fully in charge of the situation. Think about one partner whose significant other used to always cut them off, especially when others were around. After this partner started calmly holding eye contact and then clearly turning to someone else without a word whenever it happened, their significant other found themselves left out more and more. This partner didn't explain their new behavior. Instead, "Excuse me, I wasn't finished." One partner simply said, and then kept talking to someone else. Their significant other eventually stopped interrupting them because they felt the shift in energy, the quiet pulling away from normal conversation. Narcissistic abuse impact, the hidden costs, what their disrespect truly costs you and them. Why do they keep pushing, even after you've set the boundary? Disrespect isn't usually personal at first. It's a signal, a test, a quick poke to see how far they can go before you push back. Once you let one bad thing slide, like a slight insult, a hidden put down, or a fake compliment with a nasty edge, you've shown everyone that your silence means you'll put up with anything. Then, getting back control becomes twice as hard. So after that first time, after you've gone still, calmly called them out and pulled away, what happens next is just as important. They will try to test your boundaries again. Not in the same way, but in smaller, sneaky ways. They'll want to see if you really meant it. They'll make a joke again, but with a smile this time. They'll leave you out of a decision and call it an accident. They'll make a vague comment and watch your face for any sign of doubt. That's when you make your next move. Show them a much bigger consequence. If the punishment fits the crime, people forget it. But if it is much bigger, it sticks in their mind. You are not reacting emotionally. You are sending a message. You don't get to play games with me twice. So when they cross the line again, you get colder, not louder. If they messed up in public, you hit them back publicly, but smartly, not with insults. With a very clear rejection, the significant other makes a comment. One partner responds by pausing, looking them dead in the eye, and addressing the rest of the group instead. The significant other asks a question. One partner responds with a single-word answer, then shifts their attention. The significant other tries to get your warmth back. One partner gives them the social equivalent of a closed door. Polite, proper, distant. It's not being mean, it's cutting them off. You're not trying to beat them. You're showing them something scarier, they've lost access. That's what hurts people the most. Not being insulted, but being ignored by someone who used to care. They take. Think about what happened next for one partner and their significant other. The significant other always made fun of their partner's work wins, often cutting them off mid-sentence when they were excited. After the partner had calmly used the "did you mean to say that" trick, the significant other tried again. A week later at a dinner party, cutting them off to tell a somewhat rude story about their partner's work. The partner didn't take the bait. As I was saying before, one partner simply turned to another guest and said, and kept telling their story, completely ignoring the significant other. They gave their significant other a blank look and moved on. The significant other was left looking foolish, realizing their old trick had backfired in front of everyone. Narcissistic partner behavior, their true mistake. They'll realize their blunder, but it is already too late. Have you ever wondered what happens when they finally run out of options? Here's what they never expect. You standing your ground completely. Not a huge angry explosion, but a quiet, chilling pulling away. Most people want to be liked. They want to smooth things over. They want to believe that being the better person will make others admire them. But respect isn't earned by letting things go. It's earned by making calculated moves, done with silence, not anger. This is where your real power begins. People are always watching. They saw when you were disrespected. They saw how you reacted. Now they're watching to see if you'll go back to how you were, or if you truly meant what you showed. This is your chance to change how people see you. Your quietness is seen as they don't put up with that, or they won't deal with disrespect, or you only get one shot with them. When people start thinking that about you, everything changes. People talk more carefully. They stop making jokes about you. They introduce you to others using words like nonsense, sharp, serious. That's your new power. You didn't ask for it. You built it. One careful response at a time. This is the power of silent payback. It's never loud. It's never rushed. It's thought out, aimed, right? And done with such calm control that the other person doesn't even realize how badly they've been outplayed. You're still calm. You're still steady. You've let the disrespect hang there and then turned it into something they now own. That's how you build power in silence. Not just by refusing to react, but by making every disrespectful act a step towards exposing them. When you do this, you never have to chase respect again. They don't argue. They don't explain. They don't put up with it. They end it quietly, precisely, and for good. Imagine the situation. The significant other who used to constantly dismiss you in front of others now quietly tries to get back into your good graces. Maybe they offer a compliment or try to invite you to a get-together they know you'd normally like. One partner acknowledges them with a polite, even, but distant tone. Thanks for the invite. I won't be able to make it. There's no big excuse, no warmth, no hard feelings, just a calm, final no that tells them they no longer have guaranteed access to your time or energy. How to deal with disrespect? Your presence is power. Become a shield. Your quiet strength will protect you. Did you ever think that your quiet strength could be your biggest protection? Disrespect doesn't come from being bold. It comes from feeling safe. Not your safety, but theirs. They insult you when they think you won't say anything. They make fun of you when they believe nothing will happen. They push because they're sure you've never pushed back before. That's what feeds most disrespect, the idea that you won't do anything. Power isn't about hitting often. It's about making them feel like you could, that at any moment you might choose to react in a way they didn't expect and can't handle. This is the next level. You become a threat without ever threatening. You don't need to say a word. You just need to become harder to figure out. From now on, when someone disrespects you and you've already made it clear what your limit is, your job isn't to get them to like you. It's to make them unsure about you, not scared, not intimidated, just unsure. Did I go too far? Why are they so quiet right now? What are they thinking? Why didn't they respond like before? That uncertainty becomes your shield. The person they're unsure about is the person they start avoiding. Someone easy to understand is easy to control. But when you're quiet, hard to read, and in control, when you react once, cold and precise, and then go back to being still, you become different. In social groups, being different changes things. People start listening to you, not because they're afraid, but because it's a natural instinct. The mind protects itself from what it doesn't fully get. So you lean into that. You don't talk as much as others. You observe longer than is comfortable. You say less than expected. But when you speak, every word hits hard. They question, they wonder, they doubt. Think about a gathering where your narcissistic partner usually talks over everyone, often making you look bad. Now, when they try their usual rude joke, you stay completely calm. Instead of reacting, you might just move your body a little, focusing on another conversation, or offering a single, neutral hum. The significant other might stop, expecting your usual response, and then nervously look around, sensing the shift in the room's energy. Others notice their hesitation. Are you okay? You are quiet tonight. 8. Narcissistic discard when they lose access to you. Watch them fade when they realize they can't reach you. Is it possible that your detachment scares them more than your anger? Here's the psychological trick. Most people think respect comes from being liked. It doesn't. It comes from being felt. When you walk into a room and the air changes, when people speak softer, change how they stand, and adjust their tone, that's not popularity. That's presence. And presence is built by doing the opposite of what is expected. You don't always react, but when you do, it cuts deep. You don't need to be in charge, but you refuse to be messed with. You don't ask for respect, but you cut them off the moment they disrespect you. That's how your energy becomes a warning, a quiet, unspoken consequence wrapped in calm control. But there's a final big change, something few ever master. You stop reacting to disrespect as if it's personal. You start seeing it as information. This is where your mind works differently from most people. They hear an insult and feel hurt. You hear it and think, that shows their weakness. They make fun of you, and you don't even flinch because you see through it. You understand why they're being disrespectful. Insecurity, jealousy, fear. Pushing their own problems onto you. A desperate need for control where they feel none. That's the ultimate power move. When someone disrespects you, it shows who they are, not you. So you remember it. You keep it in mind and you move forward, not by forgiving, but by figuring out. Do they still get to be in your life? Do they need to be shown up in public or dealt with privately? Do you use them to send a message to others or just let them fade away quietly? You're no longer playing emotional games. You're calling the shots. The best spot to be in is where others are afraid to cross your line, even when you're not there. That's when you've won, not when people like you. Not when they praise you, but when your absence feels as strong as your presence. The people who never get disrespected aren't always the loudest. They're the ones who made disrespect too costly, not with anger, not with revenge, but with calm quiet. A bigger consequence than expected, and standing up for yourself without apology. You don't need to play their social games. You play the power game. When you do, everything changes. People think twice before crossing you. Their jokes change. Their words soften. How they act around you shifts because now they know you're not there to just fit in. You're here to be respected. If they can't do that, you'll leave them in silence. They won't get over. Imagine your partner who once made fun of your choices, now actively avoids looking at you when you are in the room or talks in a noticeably softer voice to you. They try to involve others in conversations more than you. You notice others around you now treating you with more respect, perhaps asking for your opinion first. The partner might even complain to a mutual friend. I don't know what happened. They're just different now. So quiet, so distant. 9. Narcissist tries to re-engage, the ultimate test. When they try to fix it, here is how you win. Are you ready for the final, most powerful move? The one that truly defines you. There's one last thing. The moment when someone has disrespected you and they realize it was a huge mistake. You don't punish them. You don't forgive them. You do something even stronger. When someone disregards you and then realizes their error, what do? This is the question that decides your reputation. At that point, you're no longer reacting to their attack. You're shaping the story. You're changing how people see things. You're deciding who they become after this. And more importantly, who you become. Being merciful can be scarier than punishing them. When you are merciful without being warm, it sends a chilling message. You are no longer a threat to me. That's how you win the whole thing. After you've enforced the boundary, after you've withdrawn your presence, after you've stayed completely calm and let the silence hang. They may come back, they may apologize, they may try too hard to make up for it. They may laugh nervously, try to go back to normal or see if things have cooled down. Here, this is your moment of total control. You don't lash out, you don't smile, you don't comfort them. You simply remain unchanged. No bitterness, no hard feelings, no need to explain why you're different now. You let them live in the new reality you've created, where you don't look for them, where your energy doesn't change for them, where they are no longer important in your world but just a ghost passing through it. This isn't being petty. It's power through not being there. Nothing is more unsettling to someone who tried to break you than finding out you were never depending on them in the first place. You were never looking for their approval, never seeking belonging, never operating under their rules. That's the final blow. When they realized that not only did their disregard fail to wound you, it actually made you stronger. It made you sharper, more respected, more distant, and ultimately impossible to touch. This is the role you play. Not the angry person who gets back at every slight, but the silent person who makes things happen. Someone who lets others mess up in public while staying calm, calculating, and just out of reach. The one who never demands respect because everyone already knows. You only make that mistake once. Afterward, you'll notice something strange. People start talking about you in hushed tones, not because of drama, but because of your restraint. People start saying things like, they don't say much, but when they do, or I've never seen them lose their cool, or you don't want to be on their bad side, or be careful with them. They don't come back around. That's what you've built. A reputation so strong that people automatically act carefully around you. They double check how they talk. They think about what they're saying. They ask themselves if you're watching, not because they're scared, but because your presence now has weight. From that point on, you no longer have to fight for respect because you've proven something rarer than being in charge. You've mastered choosing when to be present. You show up when you want to. You speak when it matters. And when you leave, whether it's a conversation, a situation, or a relationship, they feel it. The person who can't be disrespected isn't the loudest in the room. They are the one whose attention is no longer guaranteed. So let them talk, let them guess, let them wonder what you'll do next. They already know. If they cross the line, you won't explain. You won't argue. You won't chase. You'll simply disappear. That silence will echo louder than any comeback ever could, forever. If you are looking to master these strategies for commanding respect and build a community that truly understands the journey of reclaiming your power, I invite you to join our channel. Here, we delve deeper into navigating disrespect, understanding narcissistic dynamics, and fortifying your self-worth. You'll find not just information, but that vital encouragement you might need alongside others who are walking this path, ready to support you. Feel free to share your own experiences with disrespect in the comments below. Faye, how have you set boundaries? Or what will you try from today's insights? Your story matters and could be a source of strength for others, or even spark discussion for an upcoming video. You can press the join button to become an active part of our growing community. Or if today's conversation on building unshakable respect resonated with you, the thanks button is a wonderful way to show your appreciation. And if you feel that pull, that readiness to truly step into your power and consistently apply these principles of self-respect, please don't put it off. Take that courageous first step towards building an unshakable inner foundation. If past disrespect has left deeper wounds, reach out to a counselor in your area to start that healing journey. Or if you feel a connection with this approach, to navigating challenging dynamics. You can contact me directly for personalized guidance. And remember, I want you to truly hear this. You can command respect. You will build that inner strength. The most important thing is to just start applying these truths today. And remember, you can and you will heal. Just start today. Thank you.